All right, we should wait. We should be live. Hold on. All right. Yeah, we're live. We are live.
All right. Well, I hope I memorized. Oh, wait, here they are right in front of me. Duh. Okay.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
good.
sorry about that.
We,
I hope I memorized. Oh, wait, here they are right in front of me. Duh.
let me turn the volume down on my view phone. We're live. There's no one in the chat yet but me.
Oh, okay. Not a problem. All right. So here's the story I'll open up with, right? I've been in the Philippines for 4 years. And
Okay.
Fel, every once in a while, goes back to visit her family. And when she does, she'll take the ferry across the way and then takes the bus back to her hometown. The bus is not a problem. You've been in buses yourself all around the Philippines, blah, blah, blah. She's done it her entire lifetime. And her words today that will haunt me forever are, well, you know, Frank, I kind of just miss using the bus. And I'm like, screw the bus. I mean, get off the port, just take the cab. I know it's a little extra money, but at least with the cab, you don't got to go to the bus station, terminal, wait for the bus to fill up, ride, blah, blah, blah. It was a little faster, blah, blah, blah. And so more words that haunt me. She's like, I don't know. I don't really like being just a woman by myself and take the cab, here in the Philippines. I was like, I mean, I can understand that, Fel, but at the end of the day, I'm not really, I've never heard a single problem not out of you or stories in the Philippines. You would think if there was, some sort of, it's almost like, don't hitchhike in America there for a while or you end up as a dead man. But so the bottom line is she's giving me this hard time about doing the cab. And I'm this
Right.
proponent of just spend a little extra money, take first class and get your butt all the way back to your mom's house in light of this funeral that she's doing, her brother's funeral. And
Right.
so, oh my God. So about 2 hours go by, and I start getting this plethora of texts from Fel. She's like, I got a story. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you a story. She's like, and I'll shorten this down, but she's basically like, the guy starts asking if I want coffee. Then all of a sudden, he's trying to get me to sit in the front seat. And then he's, asking too many questions and just getting all really super weird. And she's like, it got really, really weird. And so she's like, she's about 2 or 3 towns from her objective goal, right? And there's a little store there. So she tells him, she's like, hey, no, I just want out. Let me out. Pull over the store. He's like, no, I don't want to do that. And she's like, no, no, um, fucker, I want out now. I want out of this cab. What are you doing? Da, da, da. So she finally gets him to get over. She gets her bag or something, which he was, I guess, giving her a hard time about the bag in the trunk or something. I don't care. Give me back. She's like, I'll call the police. He's like, what are you gonna do? She's like, I'll start yelling. Start yelling out here. I'm gonna get some help. I don't know what your problem is. So she gets her bag and she runs away from this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mama is at Nana's house. And so that's our little Zyrene here. She's got a little bit of a fever.
What up, Z? What
That's her
up,
first
Z?
That's her first time to hear Fella May's cab story today. So Phil is not mad at me, and nothing actually happened. But the fact that she had kind of forewarned that there could be a problem, and that this guy's trying to get her to move to the front seat, and asking if she's single, and trying to hit on her and stuff, it just became a complete nightmare for that poor girl. And so what was supposed to be an easy ride to her brother's funeral in her mom's house became just a really uncomfortable sort of nightmare. So at this stage of the game, I have to change my entire way of thinking and say that I guess, riding a cab as a single woman in the Philippines is probably not a good idea. So
Yeah, and see, before you told me the story,
yes,
I was thinking like, most Filipinos probably like would be uncomfortable taking like a long cab or grab ride by themselves, and not so much. I was thinking not so much that like getting hit on or anything like
weird.
what
Okay.
happened to Fel. but just the fact, like in a bus situation or whatever, you can kind of be anonymous. But when you're like the only other person in an enclosed vehicle, there's kind of that pressure to carry on a conversation with someone you don't really know. And that is like hell for a Filipina. Like they're
And
shot, they're like socially like standoffish to begin with. So being forced in a situation where you got to make conversation with someone you don't know, or it just feels kind of awkward. Like I could totally see that.
well, and I do too, right? Especially more in retrospect, looking back, I'm like, that does make more sense. But when that came up before she ever talked about doing it, I was like, well, just get on the phone with your sister or your sisters and just gab and kind of like we're doing right here, a little live, just talking to one another. And before you know it, the cab will be there. Like you'll just kind of carry on conversation. I was
Right.
trying to help her find the, sort of the best approach to getting there that was air conditioning and expedient, right? I wasn't really thinking from like the angles we're thinking now, right? and
Right. Right.
and to be fair, I gave a whole lot of credit to the Philippines, where it's like I've never heard of anything unscrupulous. So why would the one time that I encourage it that actually happen? I'm just like, no way.
Well,
But then,
because
sure enough,
was see because you know, like all our experiential data comes from other expats, and like the grab and taxi drivers aren't hitting on us. So
you're right about
yeah,
that.
so you're not going to hear those, stories unless you're talking to other random Filipinos. And Frank, if you're talking to other random Filipinos about stuff, you're going to have a different problem with Phil.
Yeah, that's true too. But at the end of the day, I'm glad she's safe and sound. She's at home. She made it there. And I thought it'd be a fun opening to the live stream tonight, because I was just like, what a weird day. Like where you think, one thing's going to go one way and the Philippines hit you, with a left curve. That just caught me out of left field there. But yeah.
All
Anyway,
right,
how you been? It's good
I've
seeing you, Ray.
I've been good. Let's go through a quick list. Hello,
Sure.
John Platt, Jonathan Carpenter, my brother James, Bama in the Philippines, my man in Nueva Ecija, Michael C., who lives up in Trece Martres. I said John. I think that's everybody that's commented so far. But yeah, I've been
Okay.
good. Um, I was, I reached out to you today because I was sitting here. I mean, I always do my live stream 6, 7:30,
Yes.
and I was sitting there around 5 o'clock and thinking, what the hell am I going to talk about? And I was like, I really don't have anything necessarily on my mind to talk about, but I want to do my live stream. I was like,
Okay.
uh, I'll get Frank on and we'll just talk and we'll figure out something that's
I'm glad you did. You lit a fire under me. As you were saying, I haven't done a live stream myself probably since almost the last time you and I did one. I've just kind of, I don't want to say shied away from it, but uh and I haven't been busy either. I don't really know. YouTube, you will find, as you're a little newer than I am to this, that it's an ebb and flow kind of thing for me, where
yeah.
you're really into it for a while, you're going strong for a while, and then all of a sudden, you like you were talking about, say, oh, I'm kind of out of things to say, I'm out of things to touch on, or they're just the same old things I'm always complaining about, or bolstering in either case. So yeah, fact of the matter is, I'm kind of glad that you brought me on, because in a weird way, again, a little bit of a fire under me, and I'm always good for stories. I mean, since the last time I saw you, I invited to Texas Filipino Beach Resort. His wife had a birthday party the other day. I kind of got to go to lunch with him on that. And then shortly before that, I seen Michael of TPL was in town,
Oh,
invited me out to dinner, and he was talking about a few things that were kind of bothering him. I know you know him very well. I believe you've been to the bar and met and been to his house even, I think.
yeah.
Yes. He's a good guy. Oh wait, you're friends on I'm yeah, I think I'm on Messenger with him. I'm not sure if I'm friends. Getting Mike to subscribe or being friends, the guy's so busy, I don't really keep track of it. But yeah, it was a good night. It was good to see them, and we went to Theo's, which is historically a pretty good restaurant here in town. He got he ordered several things, but one of his items wasn't really that good. I felt a little bad for him, and it was actually a first for me at Theo's. I've almost every time I could kind of take it to the bank that somebody's going to like eating at Theo's when you offer it. So yeah, I felt a little bad for him on that. But Cat's looking good. He's talking highly of and very motivated about getting around the Philippines and doing his YouTube videos again, which I'll enjoy because I'm not
Yeah,
saying that
that
I didn't enjoy the bar aspect, but I do believe that. The changes he has coming up, like he was kicking around an idea of I'm not trying to say his business, but potentially maybe building a house,
yeah.
in the near future, maybe even up there in the mountains. As we all know in YouTube, you build a house, that's great content. It's informative, it's interesting to watch unfold. So I look forward to that, and I hope that his travels, go real well too. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That I, and y- I'm talking like I, know Mike, but since I've
you
been
kind of
following
do.
Mike
You do
for,
more than
you know,
some people, right?
yeah,
So
like multiple years, and like, kind of being personally invested in his life, even though he didn't know me, but it's like, I'm rooting for you, I'm pulling for you, I'm watching the way your life is progressing. And for me, like, a lot of people say, "Oh, don't build a house and don't do blah blah blah," but like that's kind of the natural progression for Mike. I think with the way his life's been going, like for him to have like I mean, he's done the traveling
yes.
around and having like a set home base, like he's becoming a family
Well,
man,
and let's be
and
a step more. He's on that beach there, which is nice. It was good for him to enjoy it, but it's eating up everything he owns. I mean, that salt air is eating up the bike. It's eating up his computer. It's just it is a tough racket to live right there on the ocean side.
yeah, right.
So
Lone
if
Ranger
he
said, "What's
transitions to
up?"
something different,
Yeah, absolutely. James said Billy just got up, making her coffee, going to take a shower, start my day. All right, James, give Billy a hug for me.
well,
Normally,
you got a whole sect of new people I don't know. Man, I'm gonna have to
when
dive back in and start watching your live streams.
yeah,
Hey
when
John, hey James, hey of course the Lone Ranger, that's Rich, my buddy Rich. He's even been bugging me about when I'm gonna do some live streams. So I'm sure that's what his what's up? He's like,
yeah,
oh
say
my god, I
yeah,
finally
say
see Frank again.
yeah, saying that's what it is. Like the Rich was so hard up for some quality Frank
Yeah.
FaceTime that he accidentally stumbled onto my channel.
Well, and I'm
I
stag tonight, right? This is so rare
I
for
think I've
me.
seen the Lone Ranger before on my channel. It's
He
been a while.
that poor guy stumbled over to my house. He was one of the first guys I ever did a dual live stream with, or not even a dual live stream. He just happened to be in my house and we did a live stream in front of the computer together.
Right.
And but I caught him off guard and it was unplanned, right? And he was wearing like a tank top, just relaxing here in the
Yeah,
Philippines. He
you
comes
told
to
me about
return a
it.
guitar and
Then
he's like in his
the ugly
casual.
tourist pulled that clip and then put it. Yeah,
So be careful what happens to you and what you wear in the public, right? As a matter of fact, this happens to Fel too, like where a lot of times the Philippine people here will wear their pajamas throughout the day. It's a very casual, common existence here. And so once in a while, Fel is in that same rut where she'll just kind of get up in the morning. She's still wearing her jammies or something, and she'll take off to do a chore or two. So the other day, something happens, and we're like, "Oh shit, we got to go to the school. We got to get the kid." And I'm like, "I can't go in the way I'm dressed." And she's like, "Oh man, I got to go in here in my pajamas." And I was like, "Well, so, welcome to the Philippines." So,
all right, hold on. Let's see.
oh my God, Lone Ranger's like 3 a.m. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I know my live stream time's not necessarily convenient for most people, but it's like I found that this time was is just like mine. Like
We're
nobody else.
bumping heads. Okay.
Yeah,
I like
nobody
it.
else wanted this time slot. So the people that actually come to watch the live stream during this time are
Uh
my diehards.
huh.
And
Apparently.
John Platt said, "Agree, Frank. Been watching that Philippines live for a while. Uh, Better off sticking to his travel video. Yeah, and he was very consumed with the bar and the bar success, and to me, like, the bar wasn't the money man. Like his YouTube was the money maker, and to me, like, the bar was just kind of advertising. If he would have viewed it as just like, yeah, it's a loss, but it's like paying for advertising. Like
At the end
people
of the day, the thing about it was
people
it
came
just was a dream
people
he had, and he
like,
hated
yeah,
letting
yeah,
go of that.
but like, uh and sometimes, like, your dream starts out as one thing, but why are you flashing lights at me anyway? Sometimes your dream starts as one thing, and then it turn like, as you're progressing, you've got to learn how to embrace whatever the present is. And for Mike, like, the present was that YouTube content was coming to him. Like, he was there in one location, and expats were you able to hear what I was saying during this
I'm
whole
still
time?
listening. Yes.
Okay. So like, expats from all over the Philippines was coming to him, and he was able to do like interviews from people from all over the Philippines without having to move. So in a way, that was helpful to him. And like I said, if you view it from that mindset, that yeah, it may have been a financial loss, but it could also be viewed as an investment for what it did for his channel. Like,
And
his
probably
channel
still
grew.
will. Yeah.
Right.
I don't
Oh, we
think
got,
anybody could ever talk about the Canadian Beaver and not think of Mike Smith, even whoever is kind of running it now. So
let's see. Alistair. Hey, Alistair. Salt air is a killer, but most Western from North America dream of beach life, but it's expensive living.
it is.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
it's expensive living if you want to have shit, own shit. Say, I don't want to own shit. Like, you know, like, here's my viewpoint on life. Hammocks don't rust. I'm just saying. You get a hammock, be happy.
The reason I mentioned the rust is I of course was the one who sold him that Honda, right? So I had that Honda for about a year or so and kept it in the garage and somewhat covered, somewhat not. But at the end of the day, I never had a single spot of rust or anything happen. That poor little bike wasn't out there but a few months, and I mean it is just getting ate up with that salt
Well,
air. So
I see. I wonder if they have any kind of treatment. Okay,
I'm
so
sure they do. Like maybe you could
yeah.
WD 40 it or something like
Well,
that. But
well, no. See, here's the thing. I did air conditioning, and I was living South Padre Island. Uh, doing
interesting.
air
I've been
conditioning.
there. Yeah.
And and when and when we would install an air conditioner, there was this, like, it was like a spray paint, but it was like a blue spray paint stuff that we put on like all of the coils to keep them from rusting out. It was like
Okay.
a treatment. So it seems like you could put that on and then, like, paint over,
It's
you
funny you
know
would say that. I used a marine spray. I went it was like
right.
646 on my boat or something all the time, just to kind of keep all that, those Mercury boat motors that when they just sat in the marina all the time. But yeah,
It, yeah, exactly.
I didn't even
It
think about
seemed
that. It's a good
it
good
seemed
suggest.
yeah. Maybe we No, I don't want to start a business. Okay, anybody that's living anywhere in the Philippines near a seaside, that's a good business idea for you if you're interested in doing some kind of business, because that's not me and Frank. We don't do business. We we are anti business. I can
Yeah,
come up with good
speaking of which,
ideas.
along those same lines, I remember guys that would do ATVing, right? And before they would go out and do their ATV trails and whatnot, they would cake the damn thing in this, WD-40 all over the place, underneath, everywhere, and then go riding for a few days, like across West Virginia, whatever. Come back home, and then kind of when you go to wash that off, it comes off a whole lot easier from having that, just like a oil,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah, it's the same thing. Like uh whenever like I would paint something, like people try and put the tape and all that.
Yeah, right.
That that
a
like
real a
if
real painter doesn't use that shit, as we both
right,
know.
but the thing is, like, if you're painting something uh that has like intricate things, what you do is you take some Vaseline and you put Vaseline on the parts that you don't want to be painted. Then you just paint over it, and then the paint wipes off with the Vaseline.
Exactly. I like that idea too.
Yeah. Uh, let's
Hey,
see
real
who's
quick, I saw somebody mention the earthquake. Did you feel today's?
I, we we got some rain up here. That's about it.
I was driving in a car going to a parking garage. I never noticed shit. By the time I get out of the car and down there, everything's evacuated. And I'm going, hey, what's everybody out here? What's going on? And they're like, nah, earthquake just hit. So yeah, I'm wondering. I haven't even seen if there's the same kind of damage in Davao as
Yeah,
they had in Cebu, because it looks like it was bigger. Like it was
it was
seven
bigger.
point
Yeah,
four. Yeah.
yeah. Uh, let's see. Let me go
Oh yeah. No, catch us
through.
back up. I sorry.
No, no
Again. I'm
worries.
here just to
James
jibber
James
jabber.
Gilbert, you guys just popped up on my feed. What's up? Where you located? How long you been there? Okay,
Elo
James Gilbert.
Elo here.
Yeah, Frank's been here in the Philippines a lot longer,
4 years.
than
Well,
me.
almost 4 years.
Yeah, I've been in Tagaytay in the Philippines for about a year. Stowaway is here. Nice to see you, Stowaway. Jonathan Carpenter, Good Nate, Free the Worlds. Hey Ray, Manila Gorilla. That's my buddy Martin over in Guam. He's gonna be retiring over here soon. Martin is he's retired. I want to say he's retired Marines, and now he
Free the
works.
world. I could have swore that was an acronym for something else. FTW.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
But
saying it, but I wanted to say.
but yeah, Martin works for Homeland Security in Guam.
Okay.
But Martin said, I live about 25 minutes from the water, have to wash all my crap every week. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's in Guam, island life. Alistair, talk to any property maintenance person, manager at hotels, major maintenance issues on the property. Yeah, with salt water, absolutely. Um, Earthquake, tap, tap, tap on the heart. Lauren, thank you for uh, reminding everybody to give us the little heart emoji thingies. Let's see. Uh, Vaseline, no Diddy. Yeah. I'm talking about Vaseline for painting. I don't know what you're using Vaseline for, Free the World. Lone Ranger said to keep a bike nice on the beach, you put pure wax all over it and don't wipe it. Looks like crap, but it works. Uh, let's see. Jonathan Carpenter says nuisance. In undiams. I don't know what that means. Michael Wow, 7.4 in Deval, lots of damage. Yeah, Lauren, our thoughts are with those people. Uh, Jonathan Carpenter's in Indiana. Okay, I've been to Indianapolis. I've been to a strip club in Indianapolis.
On the
Uh,
Free the World guy, the Michael, the way that's spelled, seems like the guy that's from on the Panay here, who has a sorry store comes into town. He's a rock and roll guy, if I'm correct.
okay,
Just to give a shout out if that happens to be him.
let's see. You've deciphered my channel name.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, for the world, what's your friend's channel? I'll subscribe. Which one? Frankenfell? It's Frankenfell of the Philippines, right? Is that right?
Yes,
Frank.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Like
Oh
I'm
no,
in
no,
the
I
fit.
stand corrected also too. There, Michael just made a comment. So he must have been commenting that comment. I apologize, but yes,
Okay.
Frankenfeld, the Philippines. We're just a couple doing a channel. Yeah, we're not really that big, but we like it.
Yeah, and I'll.
I'm not quite the expert on these live streams. As Sir Sir Ray here is kind of he's learning the biz. So I just kind of I
Yeah,
flow with
I
Ray's
just.
rhythm.
Yeah, I've just been doing these live streams, and I've actually kind of gotten into a rut where it's
Uh-oh.
like well, yeah, it's like, and I was kind of resonating with what you were talking about earlier about
Yeah.
how YouTube,
The ebb
you
and
got your
flow theory I
peaks and
have. Yeah.
ebbs, and like what I've noticed is like you've went like all shorts, like everything that comes up on your channel pretty much is shorts. And me, I'm like 90% live stream. That's all I do. Like I do shorts, but they're just clips of my live streams that point back to my live streams.
To be
So
fair, on those shorts, you will find almost all of those will end up being in the next video. People in the beginning always give me a hard time. It's like, Frank, you do all these shorts, all these shorts. At that time, a year and a half ago, the rhythm to the rhyme was you do about 5 to 7 shorts a day and put together a 20 to 30 minute long form, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And there was no mention really of live streams at all. So the way I learned how to do YouTube was just pumping it full of shorts that more or less were like little tidbits to the ultimately what would be the again the long form. So that's actually what I do. I'll take them, and so I got in trouble for this, right? Where I was putting on all the shorts and they would be way too loud in music because I was trying to fill the Philippines up with songs that I didn't think they heard too much of, but were still really good songs. And so I was hoping, if they find that catchy, they might like it, blah, blah, blah. But then I would get people say, hey, I can't hear what you're saying. And I'm like, that was the point. Like, I know you weren't supposed to listen to what we were saying. You were supposed to like us, listen to the song, hear that it was a cool song, and then turn around later and be like, hey, wait, I remember this in the long form from the short. Now I see what they're saying. So it kind of blew up in my face, but that's where that came from.
I got you. Well, that yeah, I can see the
The logic.
reason, yeah, the logic behind that.
Okay.
James Gilbert said he's been here 4 years too.
Wow. All
Uh,
right. We're at James.
Michael spelled the weird way, at Coloian.
This is the
That
fellow.
is,
This is the gentleman I was referring to.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's
That
in
is
Hooge. I can't ever say it right. Ajuyy, I think.
okay. He says that is what you will have to take in consideration if you want to live here. Typhoons, earthquakes, tidal waves, brownouts. Other than that, it's great to live here. Yeah. Other than, you know, God's wrath on the Philippines, it's a beautiful place to live. And it sometimes it seems like it's just never ending, but
It's
like,
God's cruel joke, right? He puts all that here, but then he puts the most agreeable, nicest, most beautiful women to hang out with, and it's like,
yeah,
what a double entendre.
yeah, that's the highest compliment that you could probably pay a woman is like, baby, you're worth me withstanding natural disasters for.
I cognitively had to accept that. I won't even
I
lie.
would
Now that this is
I
on
would
the table, I will tell
I
you I
would
had
I
to.
would I would live through a typhoon for you.
You see these movies sometimes where they show like the world in peril and 100 foot, 500 foot waves taking over, like the day after tomorrow, or, these Hollywood CGI type moments. And I have
Yeah,
to tell you, I would think it's like if ever there was an island to be on where that liable to happen, it'll be here. I'm like, I can imagine one day where I was going to look up at the wave and be like, man, and to think I did that for a woman. Okay,
yeah, and
here we go.
what see and what you never see any of those like Hollywood. blockbuster natural disaster movies set in the Philippines. Is like, they should have it. Have a beautiful Filipinas like watch out for the.
Well, knock on wood. I hope that we don't have anything like that happen. But you are right. We definitely have. We are in the path of many a storm, and of course, we're close to China. If there's ever a big, battle war kind of thing, I think the Philippines will be immersed in a war if there's ever a World War III.
Oh yeah, 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 absolutely. Let's see. Wait, wait.
Every deck is stacked against us, my friend.
All right. Michael C said, "Hello, Frank. Glad to meet you."
Hello,
Michael
Michael.
C, you weren't. You haven't been on Frank's channel before.
He
Frank's a
probably
great
just
guy.
doesn't recognize me since I cut my hair and shaved my beard. I'm the most face changing fella on the YouTube.
Lauren says, "Hey, Franklin. Nice to meet you here.
Hey, I
Are
remember
are you?
Lauren, I believe.
You're
Thank you.
okay. You're a Franklin.
No, but I'll take it. Lauren can call me anything she wants.
All right then. You
I'm
can't call me
agreeable.
Raymond though. I do not like when people call me Raymond.
All right.
Uh,
Note to self.
yeah. Let's see. Free the world. Okay, thanks, bud. Michael said, I forgot volcanoes.
Yeah,
LOL.
good addition. As you
John
well know,
Platt.
by the way, you had that. Did you? Was there a smell in the air? By the way, when that went off, could you smell all of that?
I could. Lynn said she smelled it. I couldn't
Okay.
smell anything.
Okay.
But then
That's
again,
interesting.
I'm a smoker, so like my
Oh,
sense of
that's
smell is
true.
probably shot. Uh, John Platt said, "Yeah, Ray, you too lazy. Get out there and get some content."
Go make a
Oh,
video.
yeah. Free the world said sub. Thanks, Free the World. Uh, Philippines is beautiful. Yes, it is. Lauren, that's important. You guys choose to live here. Thanks for that. Yeah, no, it's I wouldn't live anywhere else now. Uh God has a funny sense of humor. Lynn says, hello, Ray and Frank. Uh Free the world. Frank rocking the Elton John glasses.
Always.
You need to get the heart shaped ones.
I thought
That
these were
would
more like a Harry Potter. That's kind of what I'm always describing
yeah.
them as, a bit of a Harry Potter. But anyway, I'll take
I,
that.
I think I think I think Harry Potter if they were black.
I
But
have
I
that
think
too. I
I
have a
think I think
multitude of colors.
yeah, I think the red gives them more of the Elton John, a
Okay,
little more,
so this is.
little
By the
more
way, I'm
stylish.
colorblind. I probably could see red and black, but in either case, I don't really think of the color when I grab them.
Lauren's laughing. McLovin's here. Says good evening, Frank and Ray. Hey, McLovin. Something simple. That's Michael over in Bacolid.
Okay,
He has a channel. Something simple. Says hello, Ray and
nice,
Frank.
nice.
Mike Michael C says, "Give me the channel and I will subscribe now, bro." It's Frank and Fell of the Philippines all together.
Correct.
Frank and Fell of the. I'll get on here as soon as I get caught up. I'll let Frank go into a big spiel and I'll link his channel in the comments, pin it in the comments. I should have already done that, but
It's okay. I'm not,
I'm not organized.
and nor do I care.
Lynn said, I remember Lauren was in Starbucks. She was sitting behind me, beside you, Ray. She was wearing blue. Okay. Uh, is, is that you, Lauren? Like, anyway, John
This
Platt
is all
said,
you, not me. I'm glad they're not saying she was by me.
yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't like, I just meet people and I don't think about it again. I don't,
okay.
anyway, give me the channel. Oh, wait, subscribe. Oh, wait, I said that. John Platt said, last time big eruption of tall could see it in Cavite covered in dust 2020. Okay.
Ah, okay. Yuck.
Okay. Lauren said, yes, that's me. Dreaming future is Lynn, my girlfriend that was sitting
Okay.
in the other group. So, and hey, yes, it is. Okay. Hey, Lauren. All right. So, uh, launch into your next story, Frank. I'm going to pin. Oh, Michael C just subscribed to you. So let me
All
let
right.
me
Well,
get your
my next
channel.
story is kind of is awkward, right? I The other thing that happened to me this week is I tried to order flowers for a funeral, right? And something I found was rare. It had PayPal and some other kind of pay system. It wasn't Pay Maya or Gcash, but something I didn't recognize. So obviously, I'm not going to use that. So I used the PayPal, and I spend about 15K to do a full funeral setup, meaning they're going to provide, a casket set of flowers and a whole variety of flowers to kind of surround the whole thing, kind of like the apex order you could make there. And I hit the PayPal, which again, I'm not super familiar with out here. I've used it a few times and never had a problem. The order goes through. I think nothing of it. We inform the family so they know that there's, somebody's going to be delivering a whole shit ton of stuff to kind of decorate her brother's funeral and so forth. And what happens to me is bizarre. I get this thing where they're saying it's pending, and I really don't know why it's pending. But I go into PayPal, I get it kind of solved, and I figure out that they issued what's called an e-check to this flower company, and the e-check wasn't going to clear for 5 days. And I'm like, oh, hold on. 5 days is already going to be past the funeral. I need to, and all I get is like a one line email from the flower company. It's like one sentence. And so with the one sentence, I go to PayPal, I figure everything out, I screenshot it all, and I send it back to the guy. I'm like, look, here's our problem. It's going to be on hold for 5 days. I go, if you can agree to just, cancel that, not cash it, and give me an alternative method of payment, whether that's we send somebody in with cash, Gcash, a bank wire, anything, right? I will take care of this in a heartbeat so that these flowers could make it to the funeral in time. Well, lo and behold, several emails later, several back and forth, and this person just basically is super unprofessional. They won't give me a phone number to contact them. They won't give me an alternate way to make a payment, and the whole thing is just kind of hinging on it needing to get done. So I don't really know what happened there, other than it was just one more of these things where I'm like, I'm in the Philippines and I can't solve something, and the logic of trying to deliver a whole bunch of flowers after the funeral just seemed uber bizarre. Oh no. So what, am I holding down his live stream on my own? This is super funny. Anyway, I don't know what happened to our buddy here, other than I'm in his live stream holding it down. Let me help. Let's see. Hello, Ray and Frank. Michael C. Give me the channel and I will subscribe. It's Frank and Fell of the Philippines. I'm trying to be a bit of a comedian. Dream in the future. I remember Lauren was in the Starbucks stuff. Okay. Then Lauren says, yes, that's me in the future. Hey, sorry, I was recatching these back up when you popped off the screen. Michael
Yeah,
says, hey, Mercedes, good evening. Who's with you, Ray? Sorry, that's me, Frank. I'm with here with Ray. And then
yeah.
Raven left me.
Well,
Lauren is lagging, I think. Then the Lone
no, no,
Ranger
no,
says,
no. Here's what happened. Okay, so
oh,
I
you were
put your
posting the information.
I posted your thing, and then on the screen I was trying to click on that post to pin it, and it took me to your page, and I got stuck in
All
this loop
bamboozled around.
of trying to get back to. I actually had to close YouTube and reopen it to try and get back to
It
here.
was, imagine me and V. I was running your live stream on here solo. It was like, this is super fun. I was like, good thing I know how to do these.
Okay, I
So
can't figure
anyway,
out how to
the
pin
last,
this.
I don't know what part of the story you heard, but I was complaining about the flower express in the Philippines, where no matter what I could do, they wouldn't help me straighten out a 15,000 peso order. And I think just based out of fear of, they wanted to make sure to get their money. And I was trying to, in every way, give them their money. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to get double, uh, you know, feed, a double charge, and so forth. But to make a very long story short, I just wouldn't recommend Flowers Express at all to anybody of the Philippines, for lack of communication and a very, very unsympathetic, reality. Like, it wasn't like I ordered a bunch of flowers and pretended like they were going to a funeral. No, I bought the 15,000 funeral package. Now that, we're not going to hold somebody's body on hold, till the, like, I'm like, I don't know how to define the logic here any better than just say, like, for the love of God, can you have some sympathy here? I mean, I realize you want the 15K. I get that. And I will do anything I can to pay you. But, time is of the essence here. I don't know. It's, I don't know what else to tell you, ma'am. And this woman, absolute. All I kept getting, I can't show you, but I have about 10 emails back and forth where she starts calling me unprofessional, and didn't like the way I'm handling it. I'm like, my God, I have let Chat GPT author every one of these emails. All we've done is explain ourselves very, articulately, trying to get it straight. So yeah, absolutely funny situation with the flowers. It's one of those moments where if you have this happen to you, where I'm always reminded of, like, welcome to the Philippines, like, where it just something goes awry and you just like, well, welcome to the Philippines. For those of you who haven't gotten here yet, when you get here and something goes strange, guaranteed what you're going to hear is like, welcome to the Philippines.
Okay. And let me get caught up where I was. Okay, so Mercedes says, "Good evening. Who's with you, Ray?" That is Frank, uh, from Frank and Fell of the Philippines. You can scroll up. I got a link to his channel. You should be able to click on it.
Cool beans.
Uh,
Thank you.
uh,
What can I
yeah,
get for you?
yeah, Lone Ranger. I did freeze up. I was trying to pin Frank's link, and I ended up going to a rabbit hole. Like, I watched a couple of his videos, but now I'm back. Uh,
Thank you.
Michael, the live stream went to another channel with a Filipina. No, no. What, my goodness. Lynn, stop texting me. I'm doing a live stream. Uh, McLovin asked you, how's the golf game?
As a matter of
Uh,
fact, I'm playing in the morning at 7 a.m. I haven't played in a while, right? And tomorrow is a tournament, and somebody's in town from Canada that's been contacting me, and I didn't get in touch with them, but lo and behold, they're hanging out with kind of like the people, the head honchos of the golf. So they're going to be there at 7 a.m., and I'm going there tomorrow without Fell. She was invited even to do the tournament too. But the way this tournament works, you'll appreciate this. It's the stable for thing. So it's points. Basically, if you get a bogey, it's one, par two, so on and so forth. So if you're
okay.
over a bogey, you just pick that damn ball up. You don't even have to worry about it. So I'm like, perfect. I'll be lucky if I get 3 points in the whole game. I'm a double bogey guy through and through. Like, even when I'm really trying, I have a couple of great shots on any hole, but then always a couple of bad ones too. So I mean, and there, as I've told you before, in no uncertain terms, the greens there are very, very, very difficult. There, it's a three-putt place most of the time. So if you're not a good long ball accurate kind of hitter, you're looking at a lot of double bogeys. So the moment I get to bogey, just pick that sucker up and roll on to the next hole and smile.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, I mean,
I'll still have fun, and I'm contributing
yeah,
to the
that's
to the to the betterment of the tournament. That there's another. I want to say it's 3,000 entries, so they'll get 3,000 out of me, and I'll get my free banquet lunch or whatever, and I'll have a good time. But as a poor player, right? There's not a whole lot of hope to do really well because again, you score it at a single at a bogey and below, so. However, I should say most of the time I play, I'm like I might get one birdie, a couple of pars, but tomorrow when I'll need them, I don't know if that'll happen. But I'm ready to go. I'll be out there.
okay. Awesome. Uh, CEO to farmer. That's Simon. He lives like north of
I
Manila
recognize the name.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Said the bromance is coming along nicely, guys.
Thank you, CEO.
McLovin. They can wait for the flowers. Not like they have anywhere to go.
I joked about it. I have a feeling that the flowers are going to show up a day after the funeral. So what happened
What?
on that too, by the way, Phil went behind my back. Well, not really behind my back, on her own accord to save our reputation with her family. She just went on ahead and ordered her own set of flowers through another company, or at least I hope it was another company. But in either case, she just paid with her own money and bought some flowers. I was just like, oh, okay, thank you. It was a good move, Phil. But it will be funny if, like, when the funeral's over and there's like a whole shit ton of flowers show up at this house for a funeral. I'll be like, ah, we told you.
Okay, so Simon said, I really miss golf. Been lucky enough to play in a few countries: UK, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, Scotland, Miam, and Dubai. I don't know what Miam is, because
Miami,
but that's not a country. He listed all country anyway, but not Manila, unfortunately.
Siam.
Well, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah. But Simon, you should forget Manila. You should go visit Frank and play in Iloilo. It's the oldest golf course in the Philippines.
Yeah,
Like
I'd
if
love to.
your first golf experience in the Philippines, might as well play on the oldest course in the Philippines.
It is
Uh,
definitely historic for sure. It's picturesque. I mean, you can see our videos. It's, if you watch just a minute or two, you'll see it's really pretty out there.
Simon said, "Nice to Europe. Also retain the Ryder Cup. A Frank in the hole. LOL."
In back in the day, I used to follow the Ryder Cup stuff more. I was, even as a kid, because I played golf when I was a kid. I always watched the majors, not really every PGA event every weekend, but like the big ones, like the British Open, the U.S. Open, the PGA Championships. I would always watch those. But the Ryder Cup back then to me was boring. Like, I wasn't a big Ryder Cup watcher, even though it was going on. But yeah, so it seems like it's exciting now. First round on Frank. Yeah, well, I'll treat you for sure,
Why do I keep
McLovin.
disappearing? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you, but your image is locked up.
Yeah, I'm just seeing black. Hold on.
I'm here, everybody. I have a good Wi-Fi system in this house though, so that helps me quite a bit.
Yeah,
CEO says, I remember playing in Miami with alligators on the course. It's very surreal and scary. My grandfather was a member in Naples, Florida, and same experience, right? There's alligators out there. You got to kind of watch where when you go to get your balls close to the water's edge. Okay, then we have
yeah,
Sulu says, hello, Ray, and hello to your guest. I have not seen him before. Is he a Philippines man too? Yes, I am. I've been here for almost 4 years. Frankenfell of the Philippines.
yeah. I don't know what's going on with. That's,
Me neither. Maybe it's a weather related deal. A minute ago, when you shut all the way down and then came back in, it'll let you come back in. Perhaps you could try that again. I do hear you. So I'm assuming it keeps flashing out and then you come back, but it's still coming back in the locked up mode. I don't know what's
yeah.
up.
Okay.
We're
Yeah. I
learning.
don't. I don't know why it's doing that. Uh, like,
I'm
and it's
thinking this dual live sometimes is a little hard on our systems.
yeah. I don't know. It's and like
Oh, now we've lost his voice, everybody. Hey, Jonathan, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? I missed the line of thinking there. McLovin says, Ray, go to another 20 pesos in the Wi-Fi machine.
yeah. I
uh,
don't know what the hell is going on with this thing.
Brother,
Uh,
how can
it's
you leave me with this audience like this? Sulu
I
says,
have no
hi,
idea.
Frank. Nice to meet you. Are you from Florida? I had a house in Florida for a little while. My first time visiting, I thought I could go for a dip in the lake. Yeah, no, don't do that. It was not long finding out that that was the worst possible thing I could do. Yeah, Florida, you don't go swimming in the lakes, that's for sure. CEO to farmer at McLovin, big smile. McLovin says coconut Wi-Fi. All right, so we're back to just me again. There, no sound, no sound, no sound on my end anyway. Yeah, he's one with
Okay,
the
okay,
There we
I got
go.
it. All right, I'm just randomly pushing buttons and shit.
Welcome to the show. Hello, I'm Ray's alter ego. This is Ray. Welcome to the show, Ray.
You know, we're talking about wait, what were we talking about earlier? With we were talking about something with uh Filipinos or something about the style or something. It made me think. Like I'm slowly becoming. Look, let me show you. Hold on, let me show you. This is my new Filipino look. I'm just gonna walk around like this.
All right, mine would be since you go down that path. When I first got to the Philippines, I noticed that the guys wear, you might be an extra large guy, but they wear like a medium, right? These guys wear their
Yeah,
shirts really tight. And the reason I find that interesting is in my world, before the Philippines, I always liked kind of a looser, like this, like a kind of a
yeah,
drapey, looser shirt, right? Especially if it was hot weather. Like the last thing I want is something, just like stuck all the way to me in this hot, humid kind of climate or whatever. However, since I've started to lose a little weight, I had to change a few of my other shirts, and they're a little bit tighter, like my golfing shirts. And even Phil's like, "Ooh, I like the way that looks on you." I'm like, "I don't. Like, I don't like the way this feels. I don't like the way this looks." However, I've been kind of adapting to it a little bit. So one of the things you'll notice when you get to the Philippines is all of a sudden you start wearing your shirt a hell of a lot tighter, even if you didn't mean to.
yeah, and some of that's not your choice because like you like me, I get a 3XL and
And
it's tight on me
it
and
still
I'm
looks
not.
like it's painted on you. I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to Philippines and European sizing. Sulu asked for my channel again. I'll say it one more time. Frank and Fell, Fel. If you type that in, I guarantee it will come up.
All right, I'm gonna put it in there again
All right,
every time.
says you need the clothes tight to stop the sweat beads from rolling. It just keeps them in place. McLovin says you need a basketball jersey rolled up, Ray.
Yeah, that's
Basketball
true.
jerseys are popular here.
Yeah, but I mean, you know that you got a bunch of guys standing around a trike stand, and they're all just letting it breathe. You got to let that belly breathe.
David says, Ray, don't lower yourself. And I like the basketball jersey idea. I'm not really sure about lowering yourself. I think you've been raising yourself up. I think your channel just keeps getting better and better. That's me. Sula says you can get massive clothes in the USA. We don't have that. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. You get better
That's because
sizing.
that's because most of the people here are not massive.
Yeah.
Simon says that pot belly is coming along nicely, Ray. Yes, I'm on day 2 of my fast and feeling great. Gonna see if I can do 5 days this time. Yeah, he was on a 4-day fast. He does intermittent fast. Like Simon's all healthy and shit,
That's
asshole.
good. I did an 11-day one here. I couldn't believe I did it. I thought I was going to die, but I managed to do 11 days. And finally,
Oh,
it was
awesome.
after 11 days, right? It was weird to start eating again. I felt like I couldn't do it. Like, I'm like, should I? I don't know. I'm so used to not eating now. It's hard to take a bite of something again. But
Let's see.
brother, my teeth were so clean. Oh my gosh, after 10 days of like, I had nothing in my teeth. It felt so good.
You're probably brushing them more times just to get just to get like some toothpaste
Just to
flavor or
feel like
something.
yeah,
Like
some kind of a taste in my mouth.
haven't ate anything in 11 days. Is like I'm gonna get some toothpaste up in here.
Correct, man. Correct. Yeah, for sure.
Michael C says, "Wow, bro, LOL." I imagine he's talking about my belly exposure. Sula, maybe because we're all smaller in height and width. LOL. Yeah, that's exactly what I say in Sula. There's like people all around the world, for the most part, are probably smaller than Americans on average. McLevin, some of the shortest people in the world go crazy for a sport that it's an advantage to be tall. Yeah, I don't understand the whole basketball like obsession either in the Philippines. Like it it doesn't make sense to me either. Uh, Sula, how can you not get weak and dizzy on a fast? Would you not get acid reflux without food? Correct. Oh, yeah. I don't know the answers to these questions, Sula. Simon, I'm assuming you're gonna. Okay, here's the answer. Sula, no. You have masses of energy. I still exercise 1 hour a day when fasting. Okay, so like Simon's just into self abuse. It's like, I'm not gonna eat and I'm gonna work my body with no fuel. Like,
I think just going from being a CEO to a farmer in the Philippines is very indicative of a man who's setting himself up for some hard work. That's for sure.
yeah, and I'm not, I'm just busting your balls, Simon. Like, eh, I'm going to continue to bust your balls because see, Simon's from the UK, and
Okay.
he's always showing stuff like, okay, uh, he had French fries with gravy, which that in itself is not bad, but
Okay.
then he had mushy green peas on top of it. Like Simon, like if I had to eat bullshit like that, I'd probably stop eating for a while too, just to take a break from mushy peas on everything.
That's funny, dude.
Uh, Sula said you can drink water, coffee. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
sure you could drink water on a fast. I don't know about coffee.
The coffee, as
Uh,
long as you don't add the sugar, they say coffee's an okay thing,
okay. Uh,
to be
Simon
fair.
said, "Got to look good for Mrs. Simon." I know that's right. Simon says, "I know, mate." He's telling me he knows I always messing with him about the mushy peas. McLevin said, "I told Marley I'm going to dress like a trike driver, and she said, 'Don't walk next to me if I do.'"
Can I
Sula,
let me jump in right there and say I kind of
yeah,
like this idea of wearing my same pajamas for 3 days in a row too. I figure I told Phil one time I'm going to start adopting that policy. Just get a matching set and wear them for about 4 days in a row here, just so I can fit right on in.
yeah. Sula said, "Do you have a channel, Simon, to show us how to fast?" I don't know if he has any content about fasting, but Simon's channel is Simon. Post your channel. I know I'm subscribed to it. I just my mind's blanking right now. It's Tier Mango, Tyre Mango, I think,
Okay.
something like that. Um, uh, McLovin said, wait, no, I read that. Michael C, hey, bro, if I did that, I would disappear. Yeah, Michael C's like rail thin. He can't be fasting. Sula, nothing like mushy peas. They're yummy. Sula's from Ireland. Like, y'all don't have the best food either. Nobody up there, like Scotland, be eating like stuff stuffed into sheep stomachs and the haggis and stuff. And like, I don't know, I don't know how y'all adopted like menu items. Like, I know they've got decent ingredients in England where you could make something. I don't know why they just like the weirdest shit over there. Makes no sense.
On this note, I want to add, I've always been a green bean guy versus peas. Just
Yeah,
for
me
the
too.
record, I like I like green beans, and out here I love the chili peppers.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like chili peppers too.
Man, they
It's
feel like they clear out my system really good. I feel healthy as a lark from eating chili peppers. So just thought I'd say that.
uh, Golf Nut said, "Did you guys feel the quake?" I think Frank did. I didn't.
I seen it in the sense that it was all evacuated, but I was driving my car apparently when it happened, so
Yeah,
I didn't actually
did
feel.
did
By the
actually
time I
feel it.
got
Yeah.
it parked, everything was being evacuated. So yeah,
Martin said the first day sucks a bit, but after that, it's almost a piece of cake. He's talking about fasting.
I would
Uh,
say that it was for me. It was about the second going into the second night of sleep. I finally started to turn the corner a little bit. But I mean, I'm an eater too, so maybe it took me a little more psychologically. But they are right about one thing. Like you do reach a point where all of a sudden the no eating just kind of comes over you, and it becomes oddly enough very easy.
yeah, I mean, I've I've
All right,
done
listen, world. We need to give Ray a hard time about smoking and not the fasting. Let's start with cutting out the smoking and not the food.
well. I say you notice I haven't
That only
had a
comes
cigarette.
from the heart. I just give you a hard
Yeah,
time.
you've noticed I haven't had. I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there holding a cigarette, thinking about having a cigarette, but I haven't actually went to have a cigarette because I
Well, you've been too
respect it.
busy trying to keep this channel up and float. You've had some technical difficulties.
Uh,
No,
Simon said,
to
"Yeah, I
each their
have
own.
two."
Everybody do what they need to do. I just, like I said,
Simon said, "Yeah, I have two coffees in the morning before exercising." As Frank says, no sugar. Niels Christensen is here. Hello, Niels.
hello, Neil.
Niels was telling me the other day about how he was depressed in the UK because it sucked, and he wanted to be here. So hope you get here soon, Niels. Simon said to Martin, "Piece of cake. Stop talking about cake food." Because he's fasting. I get it. I get it, Simon. You're hilarious.
I
The
like
lone,
Lone Ranger's next comment.
the lone, the in Ireland, a 7 course meal is a potato and a 6 pack.
Hey man, I'm a fan of the potato. You don't get enough. Although Phil makes potatoes, uses potatoes, but at the end of the day, we have potato is such a staple thing in the U.S. You eat them almost every day for French fries or just in every stew, whatever. Out here, it's rice. Rice is everywhere. So I always kind of like when I get my mouth on some potato out here. To tell you the truth.
Michael Michael C says mutton stew. Uh, Martin said, "Oh crap, mutton. Yeah, mutton is sheep, isn't it? Is that isn't sheep mutton?"
I don't know.
Uh, oh, and Simon, CEO to farmer, put his link. I wish I'll see if I can copy it. Oh wait, uh, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna get Simon's link and do it that way. It's clickable. Uh, let's see. Wait, hold on. Give me just 1 second. All right, get. All right, I'm back. All right, there. I posted the link for Simon's channel. Where
Good
were we in the
deal.
comments?
Good deal. Nice of you.
Uh, wait.
We must get
Wait.
CEO to farmer on the map as well. I agree.
Uh, let's see. Frank, what happened in your life that made you decide to go to Philippines?
In my life,
I,
it's very simple. My grandfather passed away, and in his inheritance, my brother and my boys all inherited trusts, and they all turned on me, quit talking to me. So the best place for me to live, to get away from all that nonsense, was the Philippines. I figured they would never expect me to do it, and when I did, all of a sudden, I have a new family and a million people to talk to. Life for me just got a whole lot better in the Philippines.
Yeah, like you know, you hate to lose your grandfather, and whether you gain an inheritance or not, but the best thing that ever came from all this, Frank, was you got to meet me.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and let's do
But
parallels where you've lost your boys, for good.
yeah,
Mine have dialed out on me that it might as well be for good. But in either case, we're experiencing the same kind of
right,
it's a void, right? And when I say void, I don't mean even the occasional phone call. Mine are so off the radar. I don't know. I can't even see on like
social
Facebook and
media.
Insta. Nothing.
Yeah,
There's absolutely zero way to check on anything. And I'm their father. I mean, I have a curiosity, but after
right.
6 or 7 years of being, devoid of all of that, you just get very lonely and you kind of miss that. So for me, Phil and her kids became a great filler to kind of,
Yeah,
fill the void.
yeah, absolutely. And like for me, like being being in the Philippines and uh, doing YouTube in the Philippines specifically.
Okay.
The what how it's affected me. At, like I had almost no guy friends throughout my whole life. Like my whole life, I didn't have like some good buddy guy friends that never. Like
Okay.
not as a kid, not as a teenager, not as an adult. Just didn't have like
And
guys
even
that I went
now,
hang out with,
I'm kidding.
huh?
I was trying
But
to, and
no,
even now, you still. I'm just kidding.
yeah, I
But
get
no, no,
what you're
no. I,
saying.
I, de- I
Yeah,
definitely understand where you're coming from. And to
but
add to that, right, at our age, it's even harder. So when you were younger and it was a little easier and it was almost forced upon you, and yet you were still saying you really didn't have many, if any. The reality is, the older you get, the harder it even becomes. So back to your story.
well, yeah, well, okay, so you know, um, people talk about like dating in the Philippines, and you
Correct.
know, uh, there's there's a bigger dating pool of attractive friendly women that are interested in this
Surprisingly
and and
so.
and, and stick
Same
yeah stick
here.
stick stick with me, Lynn, because I'm not saying I'm looking for women. I'm just making a point here. So on the flip side, the type of guy that chooses to come to the Philippines is usually the type of guy that the other guys that are of that same type are going to click with.
Okay.
So your potential friendship match is greater when you come to the Philippines, because for the most part, you're going to meet guys that are kind of the same as you. Like, if they're not the same as you, then they're not going to last in the Philippines. If they're not going to be laid back, go with the flow, you know,
Agreed.
accept,
Yeah.
yeah, like you kind of become, you know, uh, connected by, you know, who you are in the Philippines. Like we all become kind of closer and closer to the same type of guy. So it's easier to find other guys to hang out with, if all that makes sense.
It does, and I would add to it and say that, I think in the States, right, you may want friends, you may want to find them, but you just have that kind of way of life. You just do something with your kids once a week or something like that. And so you don't maybe go to the right places, you just don't make the friends, but you don't really need them, right? Here in the
Right.
Philippines, one of the things that you immediately learn real quick is you want to have friends, not even outside of your wife or whatever. You want to have, I mean, we are in another country on the other side of the planet. right? So in the States, it's very easy to float around and say, hey, I don't really need any friends. I don't really need this shit. But here, it's a very comforting thing to think, I'm a phone call away from a few guys that, yeah, that might be
That
willing
will
to try
under
to help me out or some shit. Like
yeah, that's going to understand where I'm coming from,
correct.
and
Yeah.
and
So the things you might pick apart with somebody, that guy, I don't care for that, or I don't care for that. You kind of glaze that over. There. Yeah, screw that. I kind of need some friends. Like whatever.
because
I don't. That
because
don't bother me anymore. I'm.
because sometimes it's good to have a conversation with someone that's saying like or instead of a nope, a nope, a nope. Like
That's
there's
a good
you know
point too. I didn't think about that, but yeah, somebody who's speaking the lingo understands the jokes. As a matter of
yeah,
fact, I was with Texas Filipino the other day, right? And he does
yeah,
this to me. He's like, make some joke about my chrome dome or whatever, and I start to turn to give him a hard time, and he's like, body blow, uppercut. And I was like, hey, that's like from the Punch Out video game,
yeah,
like
punch
from
out
30
Mike
years ago.
Tyson.
And he's like, oh, you know that? I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And so my point is right there. So not only are we talking the lingo, but we understand the stories. I guarantee he could have said that to 1,000 Philippine people. They're not going to know what the hell video game or what he's talking about. So
No, no, they
agree
have
with you.
no clue. It's
Agree.
like it's like Lynn was recently went back to Manila, but she was over here, and uh I watched Nightmare on Elm Street that she was watching for the first time ever. Like she couldn't believe that was Johnny Depp in the movie because he was like what, like 16 or something.
Yeah, I
But
forgot about that. He was.
yeah, so it's like you make any kind of pop culture reference 99% of the time, like they're not gonna get what you're saying.
So it becomes fun to pal around with guys that do know that and recall that. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, if you say to pretty much any of the guys, just like something challenging is happening, and you say, we're gonna need a bigger boat, like
In
they're
the right
they're they're
way.
gonna they're gonna get what you're saying. but
Excuse me.
but a Filipino would be like, what do we don't, there's no water, why do we need a boat? Is okay, where are we at in the
Manila Gorilla says that's heavenly. And then
uh,
CO Simon says to the Lone Ranger, to be sure, to be sure.
Sula said, Frank, what about protein post workout to recover and build? I'm very curious. I, I think you meant to ask Simon.
Probably. But even still, I have to say that I don't do any working out here, right? The Philippines is of itself like I live in a stairmaster. I go up and down the stairs, constantly around here. This house is mostly not air conditioned, so it's like running around in an unair conditioned gymnasium, constantly just floating around here. If I go outside to work in the garden, I instantly sweat within like 37 seconds. I'm soaking freaking wet out there, just moving up and down the aisleway there. So inadvertently, I've become far more healthy and do exercise without even realizing. And then that brings me to the golf, like where I'll just march around the golf course, even though I've got the cart and the caddy. I just let him drive the damn thing, and me and Phil just kind of go marching right up the thing until it becomes like a big hill, and then I'm screw that, right in the cart or whatever. But the long and the short of it is I get a whole lot of really good inadvertent working out by just living in the Philippines.
Gotcha. I was laughing. I read ahead, and
Go ahead.
Michael C is just evil. He said I am eating strawberry cheesecake ice cream after the live stream.
Rubbing it in.
All these people in here on a fast. Michael C said, "Yeah, after the live stream, I'm gonna have some strawberry cheesecake ice cream."
Sounds good too.
Yeah, I think. Well, he might go on live with me either tomorrow or the next day.
Good.
Depends
I'll
on
try to
whether
watch that. Yeah.
it depends on whether, because they're opening a new SNR that's like closer to us, because he kind of lives fairly near
In your
to
domain.
me,
Okay. Okay.
and
You
he
know,
was
not
telling me
telling you what to
like,
do, but that'd be a great guy for you to venture out and go see his place and make a long
yeah,
form
yeah, I'm gonna
video.
go. Yeah, I'm gonna go over to Trece Maritres and hang out over there. But yeah, there's a new SNR, and he was talking about maybe he's going over there tomorrow. I don't know. Uh, Neil said USA, not UK, and I have no idea what he means by that. Simon said hi to Neil's. Bama
If
says
that's still a
got to have.
reference back to the USA losing to the UK on the Ryder Cup,
Oh, okay,
maybe. I don't know,
maybe.
but
Bama said got to have my fried potatoes and
agreed,
soup
right? I mean,
and and sushi. Like Bama eats sushi. I'm like, that just don't make. I call him. I got a new nickname for Bama. I call him Bougie Bama. He's talking about all this high end sushi and everything. It's like
oh
you
yeah.
can't be an Alabama boy eating sushi. Golf nut in the Philippines, they eat the potato leaves, not the potato.
Okay. That I believe that.
Uh, then Simon said, "Thanks, Ray. Much appreciated for posting. No problem, Simon. Anything to help? I need to. I, I'll I'll post Michael C's in the live stream tomorrow or the next day. Uh, Bama said we have a huge garden of sweet potatoes and we eat the leaves often. Okay. Simon said thanks, buddy. Scott from Scott and I's World. Hi, Ray and Frank.
Hey
Hey,
Scott. Hey
Scott.
Isa.
Yeah, Scott. Scott is. I think Scott, you're supposed to be coming in. Is it in December? But uh, Scott Scott's going to be coming over here soon. Uh, he's going to be marrying Isa. Sula said, "Oh, that's great to hear, Frank. And do you think the people out there and the way of life makes you happier than the West?"
Oh man, beyond 100%, dude. I mean, that you know what? Let me cover that bridge really fast. The bottom
Absolutely.
line is, I would not be in the Philippines if all that shit hadn't hit the proverbial fan in my life. Like, I would never have pursued and went to the Philippines. One of the reasons I did was my ex before. And so whenever COVID time frame, I thought, hey, I want to give this a try. And I met Phil. And so ultimately came here. I can assure all of you that I never would have ended up in the Philippines if my life hadn't went left of center. But once it did, oh my gosh, I sleep better. I, I mean, I there's just a million things I could say. Like I eat better food. The treatment I get from Phil is unheard of. I it's like I stepped in a big pile of shit and came out smelling like a rose. Like I do not know how else to describe it. The Philippines is amazing for me. Now, on any given day, I get frustrated with some driving and some little shortcomings and the classic welcome to the Philippines deal. But overall, in terms of happiness, there's never a day goes by that I don't regret, having come here. I don't
Right.
not regret. Yeah, like I don't in any way regret being here.
And I'm gonna read the question again, even though it asked you specifically. But that's great to hear. Do you think the people out there and the way of life makes you happier than the West? For me, the answer would be absolutely. And the reason why is because, and I say this all the time, is um, it is easier for me to be me in the Philippines. I am happier being me in the Philippines. Like I'm a friendly, outgoing guy. I've always been this way. Like like the Philippines hasn't really.
Well, then let me interject. How is it that you didn't have friends in the States? I mean, that kind of begs the question. It's like if you're the same friendly kind of guy, you'd think you'd at least have one or two good buddies that you'd made through the years. But by your own admission, you say that you don't. So I have to kind of wonder to myself, how did a guy that's friendly and outward like this stay closeted to the fact that you weren't that way, but yet then the Philippines kind of opens this door.
Okay, I'm gonna continue. So in the West, being this guy, like if you walked up to a stranger, like just to make conversation, their immediate reaction to you is, "What the hell does this guy want? Like, is he going to ask me to borrow a couple bucks because he ran out of gas? Like, what's his like?" It's just it's tension,
Okay.
and most of the I was a military Navy brat.
Okay.
Grew up moving around and like always trying to make new friends. Um, and so that's a lot of that. Like I try and look at the positives in life. So that type of upbringing made it easier for me to meet new people because I was always having to do it, always having to try and develop. It's like what can I do to make this work to interact with other people. But the thing is, like most of the people where I was from in the West, like they grew up, they went to high school together. So getting into those kind of groups is not easy. Like they've already got friends, and in the U.S., like if you've already, it's like my friend book is full. Like I'm not adding new members to my friend group. Like that's the way it is in the U.S. There's a
It is.
small group, and that's it. Like
And
if
for
you're
the
not
few
already
people who
in,
aren't like that, they're hard to find. I agree.
yeah. So extrapolating from that, when I came to the Philippines, not only are there more guys that are like me, that are more outgoing, more accepting, you know, more, and that's the thing with people that are coming to the Philippines. It's like you have to be have more of an open mind to come here. Like, got there's a few closed-minded expats, but I don't think they last very long. Like they'll complain themselves out and then they'll leave. But
Yeah.
uh, but for the majority, like
I think some
we're
of them still do come here a little bit closed doored, a little bit, right? Does it take them a little while for this way of life here to open that door? Now, I think for you it was a little quicker than most, and myself too. I'm a talker, but
yeah
other people, like I know some of the expats in our expat group that started out slightly reserved, but now they have a few friends in the expat group and they've been here for a little while, and it's kind of opened them up too. So even for a quiet kind of keep to himself type person, I think the Philippines just kind of almost brings you out of that shell, out of that comfort zone a little bit.
yeah. Plus in the in the States, like all the guys were intimidated by my good looks, and they
I
didn't
still am, for the
they
record.
they didn't want to go out anywhere with
Why
me
do you
and be
think I've
the
not let you meet Phil yet, you
they didn't
scoundrel?
want to go out and be the ugly friend.
I never want to be your third wheel, brother.
I'm just joking.
No, but
Uh,
just listening to you joke like that, I can just tell. Look at how much smiling and how much fun we have kind of carrying on. I understand what you mean because I probably couldn't remember in the last 10 years where I hung out and talked and was, carrying on with people like I do here.
yeah,
So I mean, if we're bolstering something, we could say that. Oh, and by the way, let me say a slight counter to this. When you walk through the malls, it surprises me how many expat guys just kind of look down, don't make eye contact, and don't do that. Now, for me, I wonder, it's like, oh, do they see me because they've seen me on my YouTube and Elo, and there's this, just sense of I don't want to bug that guy or something, because I get that more than I would have thought. But the a side note to that is once you usually start talking to somebody, you like, hi, and kind of force
yeah,
it on them and so forth, and that door opens up. So too does the conversations.
right. And there's there's a I've experienced that too. Like, and I can I kind of understand it a little bit. You know, like someone that like they may be not in the mood
That's
for
another one. That's
like
true.
a conversation, and you know, normally like two expat like me, I'm always down for a conversation. I see somebody new, I'm like, hey, somebody new. It's like a dog with a squirrel. It's like I gotta go talk to that guy. And you know, uh
I think your
sometimes like
live streaming has helped you with that too, by the way. I
yeah,
think not only do I think you had it in you, but I think just doing this on the regular is because it did me. That's how I know for a fact. Like I can start conversation or carry conversation or talk back. I make eye contact right away. Things that I used to not really do before.
right, right. And I mean, uh and people can tell like it, I hardly ever have problems with meeting new people, even if like they initially, normally if they're initially given the sign of, I don't really want to talk to anybody right now. I
Yeah.
respect that. But if I make eye contact with somebody, I say, hey, how's it going? Like I'll start a conversation, and I think people can can sense, you know, whether someone's like genuinely interested in them or not. Like, everybody's got their bullshit radar, and you know, uh, when I go up to somebody and I start talking to them, like people will say, like, "Hey, how's it going?" all the time. They don't care how it's going. But me, whenever I talk to somebody, I was like, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on with you?" Like, I actually want to know. I was like, you know,
Well, it's funny you would
tell
say
me
that
about
because when
you.
you texted me about doing this tonight, I felt that same way. I didn't really think you were looking for this. It was like, hey, Frank, I hadn't heard from for you in a while. I haven't seen you on the thing. I was just kind of saying hi. And then later on, you're like, by the way, what are you doing tonight? I'm going to do the live stream if you care to do it. But yeah, no, I really got the impression from you, even via text, that you were just kind of checking in,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
good.
That's pretty much what it was. I was just like,
And by the
ah,
way, world, we don't even live that close together. We're on different islands here. So I mean, he's just being a friend.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're my buddy. Simon said at Sula, I don't particularly have a lot of protein. I just limit carbs. I turned 58 last August. My son, who's 35, wishes he had my body. Niels Christian, hi to Simon, subbed his channel. David, friends, really? Wow. Hey, David, that's your
David
good
is a
friend.
great guy. If this is the David I'm thinking of, he did a really really top notch interview with Mike recently, and I'd heard even certain aspects of it it got shortened because of some sound or audio. But at the end of the day, David was is if it's the one I'm thinking of, he's a really
Yeah,
knowledgeable guy. I have even told him he should do his own channel from time to
yeah,
time, but
David. It's David Woolsey, and he's
good guy.
yeah, he is, and
He's an Air Force guy. You should do a one of these with him.
we're gonna do a veterans collaboration
There you go.
with some
Yes.
information that would help veterans that
Hold
are
on though.
here
Is
in
this
the
going to be like
Philippines.
a Air Force versus Navy kind of
No, no, we're gonna
was it
collaborate, work
Army
together.
Navy kind of Army Navy battle? No, at the end of the day, you know what? David's good friends with Texas Filipino Beach Resort over there too. I think he's a Tig Bowen guy, but
Okay.
David's good people.
Simon said, cheers, Neil's very kind to you. Simon said, I've got a very good American friend who is 5 minute walk away. He's married to my wife's cousin. Definitely need friends here. Niels, Niels said, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
No,
That's
I don't
from
listen very well for the record, so that might be my fault.
that's a reference from what's the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker Rush Hour.
Oh
Do you
yeah, yeah. That
understand
man,
the
that's a
words that
good.
are
That's
coming out of
another good one I haven't thought about. I bet Phil would love that movie.
uh, uh, Simon said, I do exercise in our outside living area, need an electric fan though. Yeah, you need to move to Tagaytay. Then
As
you
a
would be
matter of fact,
sweaty.
look. Here's what I'm using right here. It's just a little tower fan.
Oh,
Hala.
awesome. Yeah, see, I just have the window open and it's nice and cool.
Oh, show off. This is to
Simon
keep the
says,
no-see-ums off of me.
Simon said, Michael C. Boo, because Michael C. was talking about he's going to have that strawberry cheesecake ice cream. Being mean. Niels, yeah, you say I'm from UK, I'm from the USA. Really, Niels? Well, see, okay, and this is weird because I could have swore if somebody came on my live stream and it was Niel, no S, Christensen was talking about the UK, and I thought that was like
Hey, hold on though.
another
No harm, no foul. So you're
right.
USA. That's good. But where at in the
Yeah,
USA?
but see, Niels, it was like Neil Christensen and was from the UK, or at least told me, and I was thinking that was your uh uh alternate channel or something account. So my bad. Where are you from in the USA again, Niels? I forgot. Uh, John Platt said that was my mistake, Neil. Sorry. Yeah, there's another Neil Christensen without the S. Uh, Simon said, "Hi, JP. Hope you're well." John Platt, am good. Thanks, Simon. Hope you're well. Simon waving at David. Golf Nut says, "Chair Force." That's a joke about the Air Force. They're uh, they're the chair force because they're always sitting down. David, really, Frank? I guess you forgot. Michael C said, "My fiance loved Rush Hour 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, they're great movies." And David said, "Talk to you soon, Ray." Absolutely, David. We got, like I said, we're going to do that
As I
veteran
said, he does a
information.
really good interview, right? I'm not sure if you watched that one with the TPL channel, but
Yeah,
it was one of Mike's longer interviews, and him and David covered a lot of really really good topics, and he presents really well. And at the end of the day, he's a funny man.
yeah, yeah. But well,
Yeah,
we
and
are
we just hit our time check.
we are
We're a minute
right.
past.
We caught up on. That's a sign. We caught
Yes,
up on comments, and we are 15 seconds from being exactly 1.5 hours. So,
I've loved it.
what
Thank you
what
for
is
the opportunity.
what is your final words of wisdom for the the chat?
Did I have anything written down on final words of wisdom? I'm not even sure. Wish me luck tomorrow. Oh, I did have one. You remember the Joe Rogan, the devolving of.
Yeah, yeah.
How about you finish with that for me? You said you were going to give me a tidbit of insight into what was it? Um, Joe Rogan's was devolving intelligence or human
Oh, okay,
logic.
yeah.
Yeah. And so
My
you said to
my
me specifically, you need to ask me about that. So here I
yeah.
am for the end of this live stream. You enlighten me on your words of wisdom.
Okay, so here is what I call my theory of intelligence. All
Okay.
right. So it is my belief that if you take two people that have similar life experience, similar, like they've read the same books, watched the same movies, you know pretty much grew up in the same time period, went to the same kind of schools, learning the same subjects.
Yes,
both
sir.
of those both of those people have pretty much the exact amount of knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
So for to me, what intelligence is one person has, for lack of a better way to put it, a better filing system to that knowledge and can
Okay.
access it easier. So when you say someone is intelligent, it doesn't mean that the other person is stupid. They just can't get the knowledge that they have as quickly. The I guess the proof of this theory is if you've ever been in a group of people and some like random song comes on and everybody goes, "What was the name of the band that sang this song, and like someone like me would say, like it's Wild Thing. I'd say, that's the Trogs. And everybody go, yeah, that's right. And because they know the answer is right when they hear it, because the knowledge is in their head. They just can't access that knowledge. So to me, all intelligence is just someone has a better filing system. And I believe that the way that people build intelligence
Yes.
is reading. Like I read a shit ton when I was a kid because I didn't have any friends, and I just sit in my room and read
Read
books. That's all
books.
I
Yeah.
did. And
Okay.
like I believe that like reading like develops those synapses in your brain. If you So I'm a big proponent of kids reading.
I like that. That's a very good ender. Thank you so much. Smart.
Uh, all right. So Simon said, thanks, guys. Enjoyed the chat. Lone Ranger, talk to you soon. Frank, Michael C, great live stream, guys. And I'm going to end the way that I always do. Who dat? I love you all.